Hello. This is episode 4 of my podcast, back to back. Let's go. It's not very difficult to make these episodes. I don't believe so, because I do is just hit record and then start talking. Anyways, very productive day, very fun day. 30 minutes. Here we go. Okay. Hi, my name is King. Her. It's nice to meet you. I'm doing podcast stuff because I need content, and also so that I put my journey out there. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Today has been productive. I woke up like at 10 or 9 somewhere, not like 10, and then like I was playing games till 12, but of course, games. But anyways, so productive in terms of like, so yesterday was kind of a failure in terms of like trying to sing, dance, post something, but today I did really well. I got it done in like under like 2 hours or so. I'll be able to sing it, dance it, and do like eight counts. So about eight. So eight counts. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 of those. So that's pretty cool. So like I did a verse, a chorus for um like I'm gonna lose you, the song, and basically be able to do that much to be able to sing and dance it. Didn't sing it perfectly, didn't dance it perfectly, but I was able to put them together, and that was the amazing part. But right now, I was gonna, and after I finished that, it was like around 5, or I started around like 2 or 3, because I had to eat and do all these other things. But yeah, basically I didn't start doing that until like 2 or 3, and then at 5 I got finished, or 5 or 6 I finished, and then I wanted to jump onto my origin, like working on my original songs, and and before I could do that, I had to of course post the videos, make it known, or do all the editing stuff. I don't really do any much editing, more like do all the technical things, like posting it, um, putting down the words, like typing what I'm gonna say, what's gonna be next, and then once that's done, it was like 6, 5:36, and then as I'm going to hop onto my originals, I was really slow on switching and going back to like working on my originals and going back to working in that field. So I ended up like catching up on my anime a little bit, or reminiscing a little bit on the anime Tokyo Ghoul, because just seeing the story again, watching it again, and watching bits of it, and that just remember the feelings, kind of recalling how I feel about it. But that was really cool. Just being able to catch up on Tokyo Ghoul again, because I already of course I finished it, and it's a series that's done. But of course I just went back to really just finish it. And now I'm just staring at my pillow in my bed. I'm like, that's kind of dirty. It's white, but now it's kind of yellow. That's because I have like nighttime skin routine, and it basically gets onto my bed. So I'm just like, oh. Anyways, all right. Yes, do that. But that took me like an hour or 30, like about an hour or so, because I was like enjoying myself, just like watching while watching the, reading about it, reading about events that I already know happened, rereading pages that I've already been through. But I'm just like, oh, this was so good. Like the artist that, his intentions and what he shows, like, oh, it's so good. So I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Recalling all that memories. Anyways, that took me about an hour. So it was like 7. I was like, okay, time to do originals. So I did. I hopped on my originals. Um, One thing I figured out, I was also, as I say, I'm working with Rise on my originals, but all the notes that I took as I'm going to record all my things, I'm like recalling all the notes I've had, and I'm like, yes, but also I'm starting to realize that it's difficult for me to run all the way through, because of the way because of the way I wrote the song, and also because I'm not great at my breathings yet either, and also because I don't really know exactly how I want to hit the song yet. It's very hard to run through the whole song all at once and trying to hit correctly everything I'm trying to do. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I should practice running it all the way through because I know the lyrics. So I'm also like, that's not very smart of me, because I don't even know exactly how I want to hit it. Do I want to go higher? Do I want to go lower? Do I want to just stick to my voice? So like, anyways, as I started recording the first section, which is pre-chorus and chorus, the intro, pre-chorus and chorus, I was like, oh, okay. I'm starting to understand. Like, yeah, like before, like I've always done before. Record once, record twice, keep recording, keep doing it once and twice. But of course, not just mindlessly recording it until it sounds good. Think about it. Be mindful of what you're trying to do. Listen to your original take. Sorry, I'm like burping a little bit, but listen to the original take. Listen to your original attention. So like your first take that you did, listen to that and see what you're trying to hit, and then you can go back, and as you're re-recording it, do it the way you want to do it. I just realized that I think I'm doing a lot of singing, so I'm kind of like losing my voice now. But anyways, yeah. So do it the way you want to do it. So my first chorus, my pre-chorus, chorus, as I'm working through I'm going through the motions. I'm like, okay, I want this to be a little higher. I want this to go like this, and let's keep it like that. Or I want it to stay at this level, so let's go at that level. So what I'm basically learning is that, it takes time to really perfect it, but also once that you perfect it, you understand what that feels like, what that sensation is kind of like. Because before I'm kind of just winging it, like, oh, it's kind of like this, so let's go with this, and then I kind of wing it. But now that I'm understanding it a lot better as I'm sitting down to record it, I'm also understanding like, oh, I want for my voice not to break. This is how I need to hold it with my voice, or this is how I want to hold it, or this is how it's gonna sound like. This is what it's gonna be like. Yeah. So I'm literally record. Okay, listen. Okay, oh, maybe I like this one version or this version better, because there's also like accents too. Like you could just say, so the lyrics is, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. So I could just say, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. Or I can go, or the original one is, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. Add that little accent in there, because the accent, it stands out. And also it's like, why do you don't have to just do it normal. You can just do an accent. But as I'm doing it, as I'm going through the motions of practicing it, I'm also like, okay, I want to accent it like this. How high do I want it to be? How low? Because I could do that same accent but at a lower pitch too. At this pitch, I was gonna be, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. Bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. Bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. So I could do like the different levels. But it's all about intention. What do I want the song to be intention? What do I want the audience to? What kind of intentions am I trying to do? What do I want the audience to get from it? And what are people gonna catch on to? I know one of the now that I'm listening to my voice sounds kind of weird. But anyways, one of the as I'm making this song, one of the things was that was brought was like, oh, like different tones that I could do, different melodies, or use, instead of using a higher pitch voice, I can use like a lower pitch voice. Bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. Something a little bit more but I'm also like, yeah, but I think I like my first original take better, because I feel like it's the vibe that I'm trying to bring, and also it's the feeling of the song kind of just match for in my feelings. I'm like, yeah, it kind of just sits. It's nice. And then the next part after that first part was which is like, the time we have today is over. So the time today we have is over. And one of the things I ran to was like, my original take was a lot lower, because you know how the first one was, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy, and then the next part was like, I was like at that bass, but then as I'm singing it more, I'm like, I kind of like it a little higher to match the first part, because the first part is like, bring the love because I'm feeling spicy. So I can do the second part is like, use it higher, because it matches better, and it transitions better. And also what I figured out when I was doing it that way too is that I actually know how to do my voice there better, or not better, or not necessarily better, but I feel it in my voice, like, ooh, this is how I want to do it, so that it stays strong, stays connected, and also that I can redo it a lot of times. Like, as I was doing it, I was like, oh, this is how it sounds like, this is how I want it to sound like, and this is something that I can replicate. Because the important part is, yes, I can do a great first take, or I can do it one time, but if I can't do it multiple times, then that's not good. So as I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm just giving you a quick run through. But basically, as I'm doing that, I'm like, oh, as I'm practicing more, I'm like, oh, I understand how my voice sits, where my voice kind of sits, and like how I'm trying to attack it, how I want to attack it, and where does my voice play into it. So of course you have an idea how your voice wants to, how you want to do the lyrics, and then there's the execution part. So I have an idea of what I want to do, and now it's executing. And now as I'm executing it, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how it feels like, this is how it sounds like, this is the this is what I want it to be like. And as I'm going through the motion, I'm like, ooh, I really like that, or it feels nice to me. It feels nice in my voice, and it feels correct. So anyways, that's just like the as me recording that. But I do want to get more done today, so I can at least not stall too much on it, because I stalled really long. Because I did that, I got that first part down, and then I kind of just sat, watch videos, and do other things like social medias, or like, because like I was also realizing that, man, I'm also getting tired because like the dancing thing beforehand, but also like, oh yeah, it really, when you're taking this seriously, oh man, you could get distracted very easily, because you start realizing that, yeah, you do need breaks, because I can't just keep going all the way, because I realized that, oh yeah, I'm kind of losing interest, or I'm kind of losing pace, because I'm like getting really lazy now. Or also one thing I'm noticing too is that as I'm dancing more and things like that, moving around, I'm like, oh, I'm actually getting hungrier. Like I'm eating more of my sweets. I shouldn't eat so much sweet, but I'm getting hungry, so I'm eating my sweets. I'm like, high chews, chocolate, and like I'm like, stop. This is only for like after meals, or like like once, like a little bit after meals, but not all the time. I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm eating. This is like my fourth piece. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I eat gums. I eat gums too, but anyways, but basically, I'm like realizing I'm hungry because I'm moving, dancing. Of course, makes sense. I realized that, but I also gotta stick to my diet, anyways. But that I'm slow, that I do need breaks, but also that when I hop on my originals or hop on what I'm doing, that then get work done. But of course, that I need breaks. That's the biggest thing. That I need to take breaks myself. That yes, I want to keep going, but what I end up realizing is that I keep going and I don't take breaks, but then I realize that I'm very slow and very bad at getting back to at getting work done, and also that I end up getting sidetracked really easy, because I'm like, oh, let's go do this, and then after an hour later I'm like, oh, I should have taken like a 30-minute break and then hop on, have that 30-minute, once it's done, boom, hop on, because I need to start structuring it myself like that, like on a schedule, so that way I can follow it, instead of me just like, oh, I'm kind of feeling like doing. It's not about how, because like if you go off by just how you feel, then you're never gonna get anything done, because you always just want to relax. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get that schedule. So learning hurdles, learning growing pains, things I'm gonna fix going forward, moving forward. So exciting stuff. But yeah, overall today has been very good. I forgot what that word was. P something. That today has been progressed very well. Feeling good. Feeling satisfied that I did the music and dance thing today. I'm gonna do another one tomorrow, or at least that's the idea. Let's see how my voice holds up. Let's see if I find anything nice to do. I'm happy with the outcome I'm happy with the outcome of the video. Of course, it's not satisfying because it wasn't as good as I could have done it. It's not as good as my other takes, but it's the best one that has it all together. The best take with all of them together, and the best take with all of them together and looks decent enough. But of course, there's a couple takes before, like my first take, second takes, or other takes that I've done a lot cleaner with the movements. But the one that matters is the one that looks good all together, and the one that matters is the one that I didn't feel too hard on. Anyways, so that's done. Get done with the music thing. Of course, do it all over again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Well, by the time you see this, it'll be Friday. Yeah, get things done. Might be going to Rise to work on stuff, but I'm not quite sure yet. I realized that. Yeah. Let me check on my notes really quick so I don't forget anything. I know I have my notes here. Practice again, feelings and vibes. Jumping back on my originals, recording multiple takes. Practice again, feelings and vibes. Okay, yeah. That's about all the notes I have for that in terms of the music. I hope that your day today will go well, and I hope that things are working out. Of course, we can hope, but of course things don't always go as we plan. But that's all right. We'll make it happen. Make things work, and take things one day at a time. And of course, there's always things that could be done better, but it's all good. We take it one step at a time. My feelings right now is very good. Aside from the feeling like I slacked off so much, and I could have started more. I could have gotten more done, but I was really slow, or that I just really bad on that. But anyways, I'm hungry. So after recording this, after putting it down, editing it or rendering it, I'm gonna go cook something, eat it, cause I'm quite hungry. I'm getting quite hungry. Cause I'm dancing, moving, and of course I'm still on my diet, so I'm not exactly eating to be full. I'm eating cause I'm trying to drop to 140. Right now I'm like 145, 144 right now. I'm actually a little bit heavier because like 2-3 days ago, like this beginning of this week, I ate a little bit more and also had a little bit more sweets because it was like a feel good moment. Also, like I don't want to drop too quick either, but in general it's just that. But basically I'm projecting that by the end of this month I'll be 140 or close to 140 by the end of this month. Although I did tell my friend that yes, I wanted to drop that 140 this month. I'm like, nah, that might be a little bit too much. But yeah, by the end of the month for sure, like 140. Or at least that's what I'm kind of projecting. Overall, everything is feeling nice. I hope, like I said, I'm very optimistic about things to come. Of course, there's a lot of work ahead of me, so I trust the process, trust my training, trust the road ahead. And if you're listening to this, then well, if you got this far, then wow, that's pretty interesting. But not a lot of people actually listen this much or actually come this far. So if you do, hey, maybe you should comment down like, hey, I came this far. Yeah, that's what we do. Or like, oh, secret message. Okay, the secret message right now is Band-Aid. If you put Band-Aid in comment, then I'll be like, oh yeah, this person listened this long. Okay, I'll be like, oh, interesting. All right, so we've done 16 minutes or 17 minutes, but basically filling up time until 30 minutes because I want to do 30-minute videos. But also, what I've realized when I listen to podcasts too is like, you're like, oh, 1 hour it seems like a long video, but it's not really that long when you listen to it. Or 30 minutes feels like a long video, but when you listen to it, it doesn't really feel that long. And you're like, man, I wish that video could have been longer. Even if it's just me talking about myself or talking about nothing or talking about whatever, it's like, oh, I wish that was longer, because the podcast that I really listened to was like the Tableau show, which is this Tableau, the artist. He was just talking about his life or, having people guests on. And also, of course, the Eric Nam show or the Eric Nam K-pop Daebak, which is like Eric Nam hosting a podcast about K-pop stuff, music, and also having groups on or guests. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that that also kind of inspired me to do podcasts too, but also made me understand like, oh yeah, like yes, these episodes feels long, but they're not that long if you actually enjoy listening to podcasts and you actually like to listen to it. Anyways, I'm kind of just talking now, but what's been going on right now is I hope to finish up my 2 originals. Of course, I did my first original, which was okay, but I did it really quickly, and I did it kind of just like not half motivated, but it definitely doesn't get me going as much as my second original, which feels a lot better, sounds a lot better, and feels like it has more going for it. So I'm gonna focus on my second original first and get that done, and then the first one can be another time, or or maybe I'll just move on to a new one. Who knows? Right now, I definitely want to get my second original done, or the second song that I did, which is one of my originals too, but get it done. I call it original as in it's a concept still. I haven't bought the beat or I haven't done the XYZ, but I am working on the lyrics, and if I enjoy it and if I like it and we got things going, then I'll buy it. I'll either buy the full beat or buy the lease, or buy whichever one works, the licensing, or we'll work it out. It hasn't been planned yet, but if it is nice and it's maybe it could be something I can fundraise for too, where if I'm like, hey, I really like this song, I'm gonna give it to the world, and if the world likes it and supports me on it, then help me donate or something like that, where I could buy the beat so that the world can have it, or so that I can have it, Okay, but everything is money, so I've gotta have money to make money and things like that. So it's like growing pains, but that's part of the game, or that's part of what we do. But just gotta make sure that I'm practicing first. I gotta make sure that I'm gotta make sure that it's good enough to be worth the money, or that it's good enough that it's I can show people that yes, this is what I'm trying to do, and this is really nice. And if you believe in it and you believe in me, then and you want to help my cause, then feel free to donate or contribute so that I can get it, something like that. Anyways, I'm kind of just talking about that, but of course, I'm a nobody right now, and I don't have an artist name yet, but I will figure it out at some point. Cause I feel like my artist name, I don't want to go by my name, because my name is King Her or King Michael Her. I don't really feel like going by my name. I don't really feel like going by initials either. I was enjoying LiveWell, but LiveWell is not very marketable, which is understandable. And I was thinking LiveWell, but also LiveWell, it is decent. It still kind of holds the same value as LiveWell, but also, I don't know, it doesn't, I don't feel it as much. LiveWell, like, you can think of it like end well, like end well, finish well, or end well, or end well, and well. And also, of course, the whole meaning of being LiveWell, because N is just an abbreviation of Yall. But anyways, Nwell was one of them, but I was like, maybe not. But then, of course, there's the initials KMH, which I do enjoy, but I'm also like, it is nice, but it's very simple, and it's also, I don't know if I would want that, or I don't know if that would be something that will stick for me. Of course, it's something my brother uses to call me, because, KMH is my initials, and also I use it for gaming, or, yeah. But I feel like I kind of want something a little bit more for my artist name, but I'm just quite not sure exactly what. I'm thinking like, what about a word that's very a vocabulary word, like something that's a phrase, or like not a phrase, but like something that's catchy, like how like different artists have their own different names, but I need something that I will enjoy, something that will be kind of like me, but I'm just not quite sure exactly what. Maybe it might just be my name, who knows, but I feel like I need something. A stage name. I just don't know what that stage name is yet. We'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Because I'm thinking of different names I could call myself, but I'm also like, what actually embodies what I'm trying to do, or what am I feeling? It could just, it could be whatever. My stage name could be whatever, but it has to be something that embodies me and that I can believe in and that I want to sell, So I have to think about it. Of course, I want to do music in Hmong and English, and my content right now is mostly in English because I don't trust myself with my Hmong, and also it's harder to get to a wider audience if I just speak solely Hmong. But I do want to do Hmong and English songs, and if I was to do something like that, then I need to make sure my name is something that can be marketable in both aspects, Hmong and English. I just don't know what that is, because I'm thinking, because right now what's running through my mind is I'm thinking back to, like what, like, since, like K-pop industries, like seeing what their names are, seeing the correlations, because, of course you have celebrities, or, sorry, you have K-pop stars, I guess, what's it called? Idols, there we go. I don't know why it's left in mind. You have idols who either use their names, or use an abbreviation, or use their initials, or use phrases, So, like of course, like BTS, there's V, Jimin, Jungkook, RM, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, I don't name all of them, but basically, yes. So you see how, like, there's Jimin, which is like, I think that is his name. Yes. And I'll just use Jungkook as a better example. Jungkook, that's his name. But also you have RM, which is, RM is, is an abbreviation, but also it's something that sticks. And that's not his actual name, but that's an example for you guys to kind of think about, where I'm like, okay, I can draw upon that. I'm like, I can use my name, or I could use like a abbreviation, or like a stage name. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Please don't kill me. But yes, that's an example that I'm pointing to. But yeah, now I'm just getting quite tired, because as I'm talking about this, I'm realizing that, man, sorry, I'm realizing that I'm getting quite tired, and I'm also tired, hungry, but I'm also like, I know I have more things I want to talk about. It's just that I just finished singing, or not singing, but I just finished a long session, or not a long session, but I'm realizing that I think I'm starting to get quite tired, and also hungry. But anyways, okay. What else can I talk about? Yeah, stage name. I don't know if you'll listen this far, but if you do, thank you very much. So today I've talked about what I did today, moving forward, stage name, and also I can talk about what motivates me. What motivates me at the moment is wanting to see what I can bring to the table. Because of course I want to do a song in Hmong, song in English, but I'm also trying to hit this pocket that I feel like it's not very that there's not a lot of it in the music right now, in like the Hmong music. So there's this pocket that I want to hit, and I'm trying to do that so that we have more of that in the music, in our music community in Hmong. So I feel like there's this pocket, and there's what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm not trying to be a traditional singer because I'm not a great singer. And also, I feel like it's not for me, like that I can't necessarily hit all those notes, or I can't do all that, or that I don't have that feeling to do all that. But what this pocket that I am trying to hit, that is something that I want to do. But all I'm just trying to say is, as I'm trying to hit this pocket, so I know what I want to do, and that's what motivates me. Figuring out. Also, I feel like I can bring something to the table in terms of just maybe the way I flow, maybe the way I deliver my lines, or maybe the way, so that other people can draw from it too. Like, oh, this person's doing this. That's something that I want to try, or that's a style of music that I want to do as well. Because I feel like there's so much more potential to be unlocked within our music community, but that's not unlocked yet. And if anyone's gonna do it, then I'll do it. If no one's gonna do it, then I'll do it. I'll open that up, show that it's marketable, it's profitable, and that and that I want more music like that. It's just that there's not a lot of that, or not any of that at all, or not that there's not any of it, but there's different versions of it, but there's not enough of it. I feel like, to where I feel right now it's shifting, and there's a lot of people are making music, and I like that. I want to hit this pocket, but since nobody's gonna exactly hit this pocket, I'm like, let's do it. You know what? Let's not complain, and let's just do it ourselves. Let's just hit this pocket and show the world, kind of like, that this is a great pocket to hit, and that I would love to hear more music like this, and I would love to see what other people can do, what kind of styles other people want to do too, like that's like this. Because like I said, I'm trying to hit this pocket because I really want to hear more of this, but there's just not that yet. It just doesn't exist yet. So that's one of my motivations, that since it doesn't exist yet, I'll do it and make it sure, to make sure that it hopefully exists, or that it will become a thing, which is like, sing, dance, but also like sing in a more, I guess you say I'm more influenced by like pop music, or like K-pop in a way. I do know that K-pop is something that I do study. Not all K-pop songs, but certain K-pop songs that I enjoy. Like, I really enjoy Love Scenario by iKON, really enjoy Euphoria by BTS Jungkook. I really enjoy their solos like Just Dance and Love, and Dynamite is really nice too, and Seesaw. So like all these originals I enjoy, and also Love Scenario, of course. Also DNCE, Truthfully. What's other things that kind of influenced me? That's what I like. Bruno Mars, of course. So like trying to hit these pocket, I really enjoy those songs, and when I study them, anyways. But yeah, like I was saying, like I'll study them, and I bring that back to me so that I can digest it, and so that I can, I guess you could say, replicate, or more so do it in a style that I want to do it. But basically, as I study them, I want more songs like that, or I want to hear songs like that. Because I like those songs, and I want to hear songs like that. So I study it, and then I go back home, and I try to make my version, of all those things together to where I can put it out. A version of that, because I would like to hear more music like that. More music like that in Hmong, more music like that in English. But since I don't hear it, then I'll make it, So yeah, there's that dynamic. That's what kind of motivates me in terms of like music, why I do what I do. But also there's a lot of things that I can say about my motivations, like wanting to be a role, like not exactly a role model, but wanting to be the role model that I wish I had. Because growing up, I would like to have had that driving me, or something that I can see that, oh, I want to be like them, or oh, that's what I want to do. Anyways, there's a lot I can say about motivation. It's not just that. That's part of it, but that's not the whole story. The whole story is everything together, which is everything. It could be the smallest thing, it could be the largest thing, but they're all my motivation, It could be as simple as the smallest thing, which is like, oh, I want to be in the spotlight. That's like a small bit of my motivation. Because, of course, if you're going to perform, then you will want to be on stage, or you will want to be in the spotlight. You would like to be seen. So that is a small motivation of what I'm trying to do. That's not the full story, though. My motivation is everything, all of that. It could be small, it could be big. It could be small, it could be big. So as I'm figuring it out, there's a lot that I can say about my motivation. It's all a matter of understanding it better, and also as I'm walking through it too. It's not like the story has been written down so I can conclude everything. It's still being written, so I can't exactly say 100% what everything is, because everything is still being written. Like my story is not concluded. But the story is concluded when when it's time for me to get to the next part of my life. But that's neither here or there. All I'm trying to say is that my motivation comes from a lot of places, and it's hard for me to say exactly what it is, but I can say little things that it can be, or that it is. Little things that does, but to give you like a whole summary, that would be kind of hard. That would be really hard, because one way I feel that it motivates me, but it's not the whole story. Or one way I feel that it motivates me, but it doesn't push me as far as you would think. Or, everything pushes me, but it's not just the one thing, there's always more to it, or there's always more I can say. There's always a lot that goes behind, that pushes you, like if you let's say you love weightlifting, there's a lot of reasons to love weightlifting. And what's your motivation? Well, it is this one thing, but it's also this other thing. Well, there's this other thing too as well. It's that, I want to look good. I want to be the best that I can be. I want to lift heavier, or I want to, so let's just leave it as a story. Lift heavier, look good, and I forgot what the other one was. Lift heavier, look good, and work out. I don't know. Let's go with that. Those three. But which one of those is your main motivation? Oh, not quite sure. And then what if there's the fourth one that comes through? You're like, oh, well, what about these other three motivations? Well, they're all my motivations, see? And also, it's always changing. Maybe at some point you're like, lifting heavier isn't a motivation for me anymore, but I still want to work out, and I love working out. I love looking good. But the other one is different, So it's like, yeah. Does that make sense? It's 33 minutes. Okay, I have to end this now. Thank you for listening. I haven't done a lot for this episode, so hopefully you don't mind me just talking about myself, talking about motivation, explaining my thought process a little bit. But hopefully the next episode I'll be able to have a podcast that's more interesting for you. Anyways, thank you for listening. If you come this far, then put down Band-Aid so I can know, oh, that person has been watching. Or I'm like, or either that, or I'm like, oh, what is that? Why do people are putting Band-Aid? No, I was kidding. All right. Well, thank you for listening. All right. See you later.